2 secs. But it crashes again.
It says live where I'm sitting.
Yeah, top left is live.
Yeah, I think we're live on Facebook in a minute. On YouTube.
What shirt's that, Dave?
Murphy.
Oh, look, they have a nice little win, 7-1. He wears the top.
Yeah, of course he does.
I was wearing it Monday night actually.
I hope you've got an Abbey one underneath that, mate.
I ain't got an
He's-
Abbey one. I've even been
you-
trying to get. I've even been trying to get an Abbey hat and I can't get one.
The back of your shirt has got the name who just left, didn't he? The pro player.
No, he's not. No, he's nothing on there. There's definitely nothing on there.
You burnt that shirt when you left.
Yeah, I didn't have one. Didn't have one. Right, okay. Well, welcome to the Manager's View, and we're going to be here for the next 20 minutes or so having a chat with the lads. Of course, over the weekend, got the 2 winners with us, and the man that lost has not turned up. But I dare say there'll be a legitimate excuse, Mark, yeah?
I think you've been horrible there, Dave. Leave Paul alone.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be drunk asleep somewhere. I think he'd be busy today.
So come on then, Mark, back at it. You actually got to play a game of football, and you actually managed to get a win as well, mate.
Well, why are you saying so surprised?
Yeah, no, that one. No, I thought Paul was back on here.
Yeah. Listen, I've played 3 games eternally and I haven't lost, so I'm unbeaten in this 2026, mate. But no, listen, yeah, it was a great win away from home against a team that were third in the league. Yeah, we haven't played many games, but again, we've had a couple of friendlies now, so I can't. There's no excuses in terms of the fitness in the boys' legs. So I'm still very, very pleased. I changed formation. I've been tinkering with the idea of changing formation just because of the lack of goals we've been scoring. I mean, defensively, we've been really solid with a third best defensive record in the league. So it was a bit of a risk to even look at changing formations, but I had to try and I've got to try and find goals from somewhere, and I've got the personnel. So I had a little change. We scored 3 goals. Am I convinced still? No, because I still in our 3-5-2, I was still creating, wasn't putting away. But I think in the last, I know I only played 3 games a turn a year, but I'll say the last 6-7 games, it's been slowly drifting away from creating as many as we was doing. So yeah, a little change. So I'm not 100% convinced. I mean, defensively, I thought it was a shambles against Biggleswade on Saturday. I thought the first 10 minutes, although Lamar, our keeper, didn't have much to do, Biggleswade was very dangerous. They got in behind too easy on many occasions. So the change of formation, it worries me slightly defensively. And like I said before, I'm happy with us defensively in the other formation as well. So to change it, I knew it could cause some risks, So overall, we got the job done. We got the 3 points, and that's solely what we were after now in the business end of the season. But we do make our life harder for ourselves, make it really hard for ourselves. I mean, it was 3-1. I say this very loosely with us cruising. I wouldn't say we was cruising too much, but Biggleswade wasn't offering too much against us. So when we was 3-1, we give a penalty away. I'm not going to dig out an individual of mine or the referee, but it was a really weird penalty. So basically, my keeper's got the ball in his hands. He wants to play quickly, so he's running out to the edge of his box. He's running to one of their players who's been running to close him down, and their player falls to the ground. Marshy, really, really good experienced player. and the referee gives a yellow card to our keeper and a penalty to Biggleswade. So at the time, I'm fuming with my keeper because I'm thinking he's done something. Watching the game back, he's literally got the ball. He's run forward to the end of the box. Their players run towards him. He's fell down, and the referee's given a penalty. And supposedly the referee said to my captain, if our keeper falls to the floor as well, then he'll give a foul to the keeper. So I'm a bit confused to why he's given a penalty. But listen, it's I'll send you both to the game, the penalty, and I'll see what your opinions are like on that. But bit of a strange one. But then it's 3-2. It's 3-2. We're backs against the wall. They're on the front foot. And listen, when you're 3-1 cruising and when we need wins, if we would have thrown that away, I would have been Devo. I mean, you asked my boys, I was devastated anyway. I was fuming at the end, just because I like winning and it is all about winning, but there's a way to win, and I don't want to make our lives harder. So I wasn't really happy at the end. Always knew. So, but the bottom line is we've got the 3 points, Dave, which is what I need. We've got 14 games to go, and realistically, if I'm being honest with you, forget about performances. Although I like performances, this stage of the season is just about getting the wins over the line. So one game at a time, and like I said, we're unbeaten. We drew Biggleswade Town, drew at Ware, and beat Biggleswade. All 3 teams are top teams. I know Ware slightly dropped away from the playoff a little bit, but Biggleswade Town and Biggleswade both in the playoff. So for us to get through those 3 games unbeaten is I'm really happy. The test comes now next week when we've got 2 teams who are below us with Leverstock and Marlow. Let's see if we have the same mentality to try and get results from them.
Yeah, one home game, and you've got one home game, 3 away games in the next for the rest of the month. I mean, you said Leverstock away, Marlow home, Tame away, and Northwood away as well.
Yeah, I don't mind being away. Our stats are better away. I think we've got a little bit of a mental block at home. As we know, the pitch is not the greatest. But it's more the mental block, really. So, like I say, throughout the season, we've been better away. So, yeah, being away doesn't bother me, but we've got our last 14 games are madness. I mean, we've got everyone above us in the playoffs, but the season's 38 games, whether we play 40, 42 games, we've got to play them. So they just come all thick and fast now. We've got 3 games in hand, everyone above us, but you've got to beat them. I remember that season with you, Bill, when we had like 6 games in hand, didn't we? And we won 4 or 5 of them, and we would have jumped above you, but
Yeah.
we did end up doing it. So I was much rather points. But there's still a very much an outside chance of doing something good. But we take game at a time.
So, I mean, are you still confident now? I mean, looking at it now, you've got a game in hand on Hertford, 2 on Biggleswade Town, 3 on Biggleswade, but you're sitting there 11 off.
Yeah, I'm a confident. Yeah, I think, listen, as long as it's mathematically achievable. But if I'm honest with you, Dave, we had a friendly on Tuesday, and I was disappointed with how we conducted ourselves as a club. It was quite far away, the friendly, because you can't just pick the closest teams to you, so you've got to take them wherever you can. And we conducted ourselves really poorly. So we're meeting on Thursday, and we just thrashed it out. I don't know what you think, Bill, but I think sometimes meetings can have a better effect than actually training.
Yeah.
So we thrashed out a few things, knowing that it's going to be a very tough. This is before obviously Biggleswade had 15 games left of the season. And I've always set a long-term goal. And at the start, I think naturally as manager you do, but I've always told my team this are long-term targets. And I think sometimes I can put added pressure onto the players. So listen, I've just stripped it right back and said, listen, ignore all targets we've set at the start of the season, ignore what we set halfway through, ignore it all. Every game from now on, I'm setting everyone an individual target for that game. So, for example, I tell you just now, it's obviously naturally the team is 3 points. All my attacking players need to get 1 shot on target. The key defenders need to keep 1 clean sheet. And I think people will look at it thinking one shot on target. Sure, but for me, the formation I played, I had a lot of attackers on the field. If you're getting 4 or 5 shots as a bare minimum, you're hoping at least one of those go in away from home. You know what I mean? So if they beat the target, then they're overachieving. So it's just a mentality thing that I'm trying to go with now. And every game they'll have a different set targets for every individual. So I'm not looking ahead of Leverstock. Tuesday is a 3-point game. The players got to hit their targets. and then we'll move on to Marlow after Leverstock. So your questions about playoffs it's not being mentioned in this in the football club. It's about Leverstock and Leverstock only.
Hmm. But I mean, otherwise, I mean, we're getting to that sort of sticky end as well. Only what, maybe 6 weeks left of this, 6, 7 weeks left of sort of transfer window type area as well. I mean, still looking at bringing more in.
Yeah, I messaged this guy who's on screen with us and all. Basically, on Saturday, I had Ronnie Jones on the bench, who is my assistant manager, who's not played a minute of football. I had my number 2 keeper on the bench, who I never like putting a second keeper on the bench because it takes away. So I had 3 outfield, or 4 if you include Ronnie, but 3 outfield players. And on Tuesday, I lose another 2 players. So you do the maths. I'm gonna have 1 proper outfield player on the bench, with Ronnie Jones, my second keeper, and probably me. I like to fill out the bench. So I've asked a few managers, including Bill, if there's anyone I can draw reg. Not been successful just yet. It's not easy.
I should have 2 for you.
Okay.
I was going to speak to you tomorrow. I've reached out to him. One's come back 100%. I said, but it depends if you want him or not.
Yeah.
And the other one, I'm just waiting for him to get back to me.
Fine. Yeah, I appreciate that, Bill, mate. So yeah, we're under it a little bit in terms of our squad size. It's not easy just to go and get players, because if we're busy at the end of the season, you've got to get players that can improve you or help you.
And they've got to be fit as well. I noticed that massively. You bring in unfit players, it doesn't work. They need to be at a certain fitness level.
Yeah, exactly that.
You've got 2 keepers for you.
So yeah, so we're under it, but we'll try and manage our best we can, lean on some contacts, and hope for the best, and get into scrime through the 14 games, Dave. So, but this I'm not the only one. Every club goes through it. Bill went through a period of stage having, I think, 11, 12 injuries. I hope you're coming back to. You're at that.
Yeah. I'm at that. I've got too many players at the present minute, so it's just trying to get them all fit and find the right balance.
Yeah, exactly that. So yeah, we'll manage to go for it. So we just have to grind it out and get through it, and get to 25th of April and see where we're at.
And Bill, I mean yourself, nice long trip finally to Norfolk, and come away with a really good win.
Yeah, it's been the last few Saturdays. I had my birthday a couple of Saturdays ago. I went to Lowestoft, so I left the house at 10, got home at 10, and the same yesterday. Minibus broke down on the way home, so I got home at 10:30.
Oh,
So I'm just happy that we've got 2 results there, if I'm honest with you. Otherwise, I couldn't have put up with what I was getting indoors. It was a really good result yesterday, away to a very big, strong, direct, aggressive team. What I know about them is every opportunity they're going to get, they're going to put the ball in you. It was, how can we control second ball? I actually went into a shape off the ball different to what I normally do, to kind of give us more coverage in the middle of the pitch to pick up the balls. But what that meant was I couldn't be as expansive as I normally am when I want to break. So we had done a lot of work on that in training, that we needed 2 or 3 passes before we could get into a normal shape that we go into when we attack. So it was 2 or 3 slower passes to go into certain areas so certain people could break out into the certain areas. I felt like we covered the pitch really, really well. And I asked the boys at half time, how do you feel? We was 2-0 up. They said we feel really comfortable. We feel like it's easier to win the ball, pass to someone a lot closer to us. So that was a massive kind of achievement, because we've been struggling away from home against them big, strong, direct teams. I did tell the boys we have to play our football, even if the pitch ain't good, because what they can do is play very direct, very physical, very, very, very good aerial football. What they can't do is move around the pitch very well. So we have to exploit their weaknesses. And their weaknesses, if the ball's on the pitch, if we can do 1 or 2 short passes and then get the ball behind them, we're stretched the life out of them. And that's what happened. First minute of the game, they broke, should have scored. Bradley pulled off a very, very good save. 30 seconds later, we went and scored. So it could have been a different game. After we scored the first goal, we took total control of it.
I mean, you was talking about, we were talking not a few weeks ago, about you struggling with players, but you look at the bench. I'm just looking at the bench for yesterday. Sam Robbins, Nick Brown, Prince, Amrit, and Matty Price. I mean, I suppose for Wolverhampton Abbey fans, the surprise will be Amrit being on the bench.
Yes, for Emmett Breen on the bench, it's just because how direct they was going to be. I've got Jesse back, who was with me when we was in the playoffs in against Bedford a couple of seasons ago in the Southern League. And what Jesse gives us is coverage of ground. He's very similar to my number four. They both cover ground and they wrap very, very well. So it was a second game. It was a second ball game. So I went for a two people that you wouldn't beat fitness wise, or you wouldn't beat speed wise. And I'll give Amrit a little break where he's played so many minutes.
Mm.
And on the other side of that, I've got Luke, who's available. I've got Nathan, my left back, who had a red card, who'll be available one more game, and I've got Baker. So I'm looking at my squad thinking I've got these three players that have to get into them spaces at some point.
And
So,
also,
and
well, you're not scared about dropping the captain either, are you?
no, no,
Yeah.
no, I've dropped him a few, not dropped him a few, rotated it a few times. Just because we've got 12 games of football left, and it's how can I get all of them playing at a certain level? How can I give all of them a certain amount of fitness levels? And whoever can't do it, then there's no point you being here. So let me have a look at you. If I can't trust you, then as I said, I've got them three players. I've got Isaac, my other midfielder, as well. So that's four players that is not getting into the squad. So they're not getting into the squad. If you can't do it,
Mm.
then they've got a space to come into.
I mean, looking at the table now. I mean, Felix they got beat yesterday, of course, by Morden, which I suppose everybody probably expected to happen anyway. So they're what, a point behind Felix though now with 2 games in hand.
Yeah.
You're then sort of sitting in behind 57. So there's a bit of a gap between there will be between second and third. There's probably about 13 points difference between second and third. But then it's quite tight under there. Bowers on 56, Stanway on 52, played 2 games less. Galston just outside. They played 2 games less on 52. Redbridge is sitting there as well on 50. So it's quite close, isn't it, for the playoffs? What's left?
Yeah, definitely. We had a conversation a little while ago that we went away to Stanway, and I said to the boys, "This is going to be a defining week." We had Stanway, we had some on Tuesday, some on Saturday, Brightlingsea and Mildenhall. I said, "There's 3 games during this week. One of the top 4 or 5 are going to drop off. We got 1 point out of that week, and it was us that dropped off." So then I asked them the other day about their commitment levels. What do they see themselves at? What do they see as commitment? What I know everyone outside of football has loads of things they're else committed to, but can you give me 12 more games of being as committed as you can? So who's the most committed players in the team? Blah blah blah. They all kind of say this one, that one, and I say to the players, what can you do to give me a tiny bit more commitment? If it's make sure you're there every Thursday, make sure when you're not in the squad that you turn up to watch the games, whatever it can be. If we all done it as a collective, we will kind of be a stronger unit from it. And we had a good training session Tuesday and Thursday, and we rolled into Saturday, and we felt a lot more kind of connected.
And it's going to be a tight running, isn't it, to the end of the season? It's going to be a toughie to get there.
Yeah, I said to the boys the other day, we've got 13 games, we've got to win 10 of them. If we want to stay where we want to stay, we've got to win 10 of them. That's as simple as it is. So we've ticked off one of them. We'll work on Tuesday, we'll work on Thursday for Grays, and then we're set up for Grays at home, and hopefully get another win under the belt.
Yeah.
That's all we can do. Whatever everyone else is doing, they can do. We just got to do what we can do, and I believe if we get 10 wins, we'll have a chance of 1 being in the playoff and 2 hopefully getting a home draw.
I mean, look at it now, though. Would you say Morden, it's almost certain now they're going to win this now?
I don't know. It depends. It depends on Felix Stowe. I don't think Felix Stowe have been at their best for the last few weeks, but they've been getting wins. So Malden's beat them. Stanway beat Malden the other day. They should win it. Yes, they should win it. But let's see what happens.
Because you look at some of the games, coming out. You see Grays on Saturday, then after that Cambridge City away, then it's Morden and Tiptree at home. You've got Brantham away, at home. Then you've got Bowers and Pitsea as well, hanging around away. You've got the return against Mildenhall, and then you've got a run of sort of winnable fixtures, shall we say? Not that any of them are winnable, but you go into, you finish with like Walthamstow away, Wroxham away. That's so
Yeah,
Wroxham at home, sorry.
yeah. It's to be fair, we've really underperformed against the teams that you should win against. So nothing, you can't take nothing lightly.
Mm.
So all we're going to do is, I feel like we've found a way to go away to teams that are very direct. How we cover the pitch a little bit better to get second balls. We've found a team that can kind of do that as well. So we've got to realise when we're at home, we might play one system and certain set of players, and when we're away, we play another system and another set of players.
Mm.
And hopefully, we will kind of get every single team we play against. I always break them down. I always watch them. I always know the information, where they're strong, where they're weak, where we can exploit them, who's the best players to exploit them. I just hope that the players I have, when they're not in the squad, can trust that the week after they could be.
Mm.
So if we all stick together, I believe we will make the playoffs. And this, hopefully, it's been 2 years on the trot now that we've fallen short.
Mm. Well, I suppose we should leave it there because I know Mark's got to get away. He's off and he's going to go and join Paul in the pub. Um, make sure he's all right. But we'll be back with the manager's view again, same time next week, when hopefully we might have 9 points in the bag. But until then, good night.